All right. So this is Elisa and our case study interview for the healing journey that we have done. You ready?
I'm ready, Michael.
All right. So you heard about me starting up this case study group and the new process that I was offering. And when you approached me, as I recall, you had like this really long list of so many things you wanted to work on. And I wanted us to drive that down to sort of one thing and what's the root issue, because that's the most effective way to tackle anything is get to the root cause. And we came back with the theme of love was what we kind of wanted to focus on. Um, so we went with that. If you wouldn't mind, if you whatever you want to share with the people about what your life was like, what you went through and struggled with around that. Share what you're willing to share.
Sure. I think at that point when I started, I had just changed careers and was very anxious about insecurities of working in sales and how I would manage that, not only money wise, but emotionally. So I was a little bit, I would say, very anxious and down at that time. But I also had a long list of other issues that were not related to career. Um, just things in the past with not feeling loved enough or worthy of love. A lot of it was focused around love and marriage and even love of parents and children and just maybe traumatic experiences that I had as a child, I'm sure were part of it. And that's where I was at that point, which is completely different than when I am today.
All right. What was your sort of general outlook before you started the journey? What kind of future outlook did you have?
Well, with the new career change, I was hopeful that my future outlook was going to be hopefully more successful, but I was unsure of what that was going to bring. Some insecurities about what that was going to do to my marriage and the other more personal things than just a paycheck. So I was definitely not feeling secure.
Okay. When I first explained the whole process to you, how we work with the rooms, we do the gridding and all of that. Like, this is obviously something very, very new and different than what a lot of healers do. What was your impression and what did you expect?
Um, I was definitely never heard of anything about it, so I was not really prepared or expecting much. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I had trust. I trusted in you, and I knew that I needed a change and that I wanted a change. So I went into it with an open mind.
That's always a good thing, always a good thing. And what were you hoping that you would get out of this?
I think I was hoping more to have just more emotional stability. Like just I really just wanted to feel a little more grounded and maybe just calmer.
Would you say we've done that?
100%. Yes.
So, what is it like now in your life, right? What that theme of love, how has that improved? How has your life improved? How has work improved?
I would say definitely improved dramatically. Um, the theme of love is very prevalent. Like I feel like I accept love more freely and I give love more freely. So it's definitely made me a happier person, a more calm person. I'm taking things in stride easier because I'm approaching them from a perspective of love, even things that are disappointing. Even with work, I don't have perfect days. I still have weeks that are very slow and I'm nervous, but I approach every day with love. I go into every client, saying that I'm so happy to meet them, and when I leave, I thank the universe for the opportunity for meeting that person, and I met them for a reason. So I feel secure now in my relationships, whether they be professionally or personally. I would say my marriage is definitely in a much better place, and even being a mom to my kids, I think I'm much better.
That's awesome. So let's take a moment. I'm going to share my screen like we do during sessions so we can give people a glimpse of your journey through the numbers. Or week over week graphs, right? And those very first scores when we did that first test before we got started. For people looking at this, I have a color coding system. The brighter the green, the healthier, and the more critical work is down in the red scale. So we had a lot of deep work in the orange there. And that spoke a lot to some of the specific things that you were telling me about in the different periods of your life. Um, how each chakra correlates to certain periods of our life when they're more fundamentally developed. And, not sharing those details, but I see that in the numbers that I see there. And then we had our first session, and you already so quickly jumped with the next test that we took.
Hmm.
Like that first session already, we had such powerful impact, and I love that. And then it was pretty much almost a straight climb into healthy growth and balance all the rest of the time.
Hmm.
And last week, we didn't have a session, but you did still manage to take the test,
Hmm.
and you had your best scores yet, like
Some.
4% gap on the core level, 3% gap overall. Like those are phenomenal. That's exactly where we want people to be and see. And we didn't have healing. There is a little bit of a dip,
Hmm.
but I'm going to kind of call you out a little bit here because I know you took the test this morning in only like 3 minutes.
Yes.
So some of those scores might be a little skewed because you race through it kind of quick. And
Yes.
I actually want people to sit with it and really reflect and not rush through it. But even still, your scores are really great. So I'm not concerned that we do see a few percent dip in a couple of things because they're still really well, especially when we go back and we look at that first week and where you came from
Yeah. That's
back
huge.
at the end of June. That's phenomenal. And then we can see in the actual visual graphs. So for people watching gap percentage, that is the gap from the lowest score to the highest score in their individual tests. In this case, on her core, the lowest score is that 93%, and the highest score is 100. So that's 7% gap,
Hmm.
which is still pretty good. We may do a little touch up work, we'll see. But I mean, this is what I love most, that visual on the each chakra and where you started in week one and that amazing jump just from the first session.
Hmm.
Little bits of ups and downs, which is expected. We have learned when you take the test is important, how you take the test is important.
Hmm.
Um, and there's always going to be a little bit of fluctuations. Life is not linear, it has its ups and downs. So, what is important is that you're not dropping back down so significantly.
Hmm.
They're minor fluctuations, right? That's what we love to see. And then take a quick glance at this is where you are for this week. And those eights that I have, the thick borders around, those are what caused you to dip a little bit. And eights are still healthy and good, but we do want to see nines and tens as much as we can. So
Okay.
we'll discuss those in details in a little bit. Um, but you've been doing so well. So very proud of you.
Thank you.
For people who are watching this and they're maybe on the fence about doing the journey because it is different, what advice would you have to give them?
I would say what helped me, I think, was coming in with an open mind. Um, I like the weekly test because it reminds me of all the categories that I do feel confident in. So I would say take your time with them, read them through. Also, doing my mantras every single morning with everything that you suggest, I think is very helpful. So I think it's about coming in with an open mind and doing your part of the work, and then you'll be successful.
And you mentioned you enjoy the tests. What else about the journey and the sessions did you like? What are your
Well,
favorite parts?
I like having your support. I like the weekly test because it lets me know, okay, I have to get back to it. I'm not going to just forget who Michael is or the work that we've done or what you've done for me. It's a weekly reminder with each level. With each level, I look at it and I say, well, I do feel confident. I do speak my truth to the universe. Like these are things that I am doing, and it lets me see progress of where I was before. So I do enjoy that part. The actual healing sessions, I feel, have been very profound. Some of them have brought up things that I didn't even remember and that I feel that I've let go of now. So maybe those were things I was holding on to as part of a lack of love. Um, and those sessions have been like really, really profound for me. And I've seen things, and even in those sessions, change from day one. You know, the beautiful places I imagined to be now look different to me because I feel like I'm more honest with myself.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm
Thank
sure the
you.
people watching this thank you for the reassurance that if they need the help, they're going to get it.
Highly recommend it.